frontiers, to space where we unravel complex financial stories and explore how they shape our world.
And where we occasionally blow your minds with some pretty wild revelations. Stick around, folks. Today's story is a jaw-dropper.
Absolutely. We're diving into the intersection of finance, technology, and geopolitics. How one small country, North Korea, has weaponized cryptocurrency to reshape its global position. It's fascinating and honestly troubling.
Troubling is a bit of an understatement, Jenna. A single cyber heist recently netted them, wait for it, $1.5 billion. Let that sink in for a second. Billion with a B.
And what's even more unsettling is how it was done. But before we jump into specifics, let's take a second to frame why this matters to all of us.
Yeah, because this isn't just about crypto nerds losing their stash or some rogue hackers pulling off a stunt. This is about financial systems being exploited on a massive scale.
And it's not just a financial story. This has deep geopolitical implications too, how a nation's cyber capabilities can challenge global stability. But first, let's set the stage with the biggest crypto heist in history.
So, Jenna, February 21st, 2025. That was the day everything changed. The financial world froze as $1.5 billion in Ethereum vanished almost overnight. It's just staggering, even now.
And the way it happened? Ethan, it's chilling. Bybit, a major cryptocurrency exchange, thought they were securing a routine transaction. Everything seemed fine until it wasn't.
Yeah, it was a classic bait and switch. North Korea's Lazarus Group targeted Safe Wallet, which handles Bybit's coin transfers from their cold wallets to their hot wallets.
Hang on, let's explain that for a second. A cold wallet is basically offline storage meant to keep cryptocurrencies secure. A hot wallet, meanwhile, is connected to the internet. It's used for active trading and transactions, making it more vulnerable to hacking.
Exactly. And the genius, or twisted brilliance, depending on how you look at it, of this attack was how seamless it appeared. The Lazarus Group infiltrated Safe Wallet, changed the destination address in the transaction, and Bybit's team never suspected a thing. They hit send, and boom, all that Ethereum was in hacker-controlled wallets.
What's even more unnerving is the level of sophistication here. The interface Bybit's users saw remained identical, so the hack went undetected until it was too late. It's not just a simple phishing scam. It's years of research and precision targeting coming together.
Totally. I mean, the Lazarus Group has been at this for over a decade, honing their tactics. They've hit everyone from Sony Pictures to major crypto exchanges. This isn't just cybercrime. It's state-sponsored warfare funded by stolen crypto.
And let's not forget what happens next. The stolen funds were immediately scattered across countless blockchain addresses, making them nearly impossible to track. It's like trying to catch water with a sieve.
Right. And the financial world was thrown into chaos. Exchanges scrambled to tighten their security while investors, well, they panicked. The market dipped as trust in crypto's security wavered.
It's a wake-up call, isn't it? No matter how advanced the technology, it's only as secure as the people and systems protecting it. And when you're up against adversaries as skilled as Lazarus, the stakes couldn't be higher.
And boy, did they make a statement? I mean, $1.5 billion, that's not just financial theft. That's a geopolitical power move.
Ethan, after that heist we just talked about, North Korea's cryptocurrency arsenal has grown massively. They now hold over 13,000 Bitcoin, worth about $114 billion. And here's the kicker. They're the third largest government Bitcoin holder, behind only the US and China.
Wait, what? That's surreal. North Korea, a nation with one of the most isolated economies on the planet, is beating countries like, what, El Salvador or even Bhutan at accumulating Bitcoin?
Exactly. And this isn't just about money sitting idly in a digital wallet somewhere. It's a strategic pivot. They're using these funds to dodge international sanctions, which, let's be honest, were supposed to cut off their access to global capital.
Right? And they're pumping that cash into their missile and nuclear programs, basically weaponizing the financial system. I mean, it's not even subtle.
Not at all. What's alarming is how consistent they've been at this. The Ronin Bridge attack in 2022 netted them over $600 million. Then KuCoin in 2021, another $275 million. And now, with the Bybit hack, they've hit the trillion mark in stolen cryptocurrency over just a few years.
Here's the wild part. It's the same tactics over and over. sophisticated phishing, exploiting weak points in exchange systems, and laundering the assets so fast it's like the digital equivalent of vanishing into thin air.
But it's not all bleak. Take the U.S. Department of the Treasury, for example. They've imposed sanctions on tools like Tornado Cash.
Oh, yeah, that's the cryptocurrency mixing service, right? It's where stolen funds get jumbled up to hide their origins?
That's the one. The goal is to curb money laundering by making these platforms legally accountable. But here's the catch.
It's a double edged sword.
Exactly. These measures also challenge the decentralization ethos of the crypto world. They've ignited debates around privacy versus regulation, and whether those two ideas can coexist in this space.
And meanwhile, North Korea keeps pushing the envelope. They're exploiting those gray areas faster than regulators can keep up.
Which makes tackling this issue incredibly complex. You'd think with international collaboration we'd be able to step up the defense game, but this brings us to Bybit, Ethan. After the massive heist, their response became a focal point, not just for damage control, but as a blueprint on how exchanges can fight back and adapt under pressure.
Oh, absolutely. Offering bounties, waging what they called, a war on hackers? It's a bold move, but given the circumstances, what choice did they have?
Right. They've actually awarded over $4 million to volunteers helping trace the stolen funds. But here's the rub. It's not just a tech issue. It's also about cooperation, or the lack of it within the crypto industry.
Yeah, like EXCHE. That whole dispute, EXCHE didn't stop the funds because of some disagreement with Bybit? I mean, come on, billions were at stake.
Exactly. And it highlights a much bigger problem. We're operating in an industry where the rules aren't quite keeping up with the threats. There's no cohesive global strategy to tackle this yet.
Which is wild when you think about it. This isn't exactly news. Cybercrime has been evolving faster than regulators for years, and now we're all paying the price, literally.
I mean, if we take a step back, this is like the 2008 financial crisis all over again. Remember how global institutions had to come together afterward? It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. We need a similar collaborative effort here.
You're saying we need a global game plan, cybersecurity protocols, tighter regulations, maybe even joint task forces?
Exactly, but here's the challenge. Aligning national interests in a highly polarizing geopolitical environment. And let's be honest, crypto thrives on its decentralized ethos, which complicates regulation.
Yeah, and that ethos is part of the reason this space is so innovative but also so vulnerable. It's like, how do you protect freedom without inviting chaos?
Well, it's not an easy balance. But what's clear is that leaving it unchecked has serious consequences, not just for investors, but for global stability. It's not just a financial sector issue anymore, it's international security.
And honestly, Jenna, I wouldn't bet against North Korea trying this again. They've perfected the playbook, and we can't afford to just react after the fact every time.
No, we can't. And for all of our listeners, this is where you come in too. Awareness is the first step. Knowing the risks, understanding the flaws in this ecosystem, and demanding accountability from industry leaders.
Agreed. Look, this is a fight we can't win without everyone on board. Governments, tech companies, and yeah, even regular investors like you listening right now.
And that's all for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into one of the most critical issues of our time. Stay safe, stay informed, and as always, keep questioning.
We'll catch you next time on Rich Frontiers. Take care.